defensive attack. No one goes inside the building. Drivers, let's get these rigs end to end, bumper to bumper in a semicircle, create a safe zone, take our victims there.
Oh, well, there's so much to be said about joining Chicago Fire. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I got the call out of the blue, even though some people who know the series so well knew that they were looking for a new chief because they had announced that Eamon Walker was moving on. Much to everybody's chagrin, a super beloved actor and character as Chief Bowden, of course. Bye. Tell you what, Pascal's here now, and it's going to run a little differently. They've cooked up a great character for me as the new chief because, for a lot of reasons that I'm learning, but mainly because, he's not there to be anybody's best friend. So starts off on a little off-kilter footing deliberately, and then you'll see how the character develops from there. What I've learned about Pascal in the first handful of episodes is he's surprisingly kind. You wouldn't expect to kind of do it in the inverse, but he's had to answer to his moral boundaries a couple of times already. Seems like he's choosing his people, even if they're new to him. I think we're learning that he's fiercely loyal to his company. You know, they don't tell the actors anything, which is half of the fun. But I can tell you this, the writers are brilliant by how slight the mention had to be in those early episodes about what happened in Miami. So I love that the narrative atmosphere already exists where all you have to do is suggest something and your audience is hooked. It's really kind of magical. Maybe in a different medium or in a film, it doesn't quite work that way because you don't have pre-existing audience. Yeah, obviously. So for me to join a hit show already, it's just an amazing experience for me. Yeah, then there's the whole how's it going with his wife issue. Monica Pascal seems to be a very passionate person in a lot of ways, and you've already gotten the feeling that obviously this mature couple is getting along great, but not that well. You know what I mean? They're I don't know how this storyline's going to go either. It's been amazing working with Katie Strickland, who's in the role of the spouse, who's a super great character being developed under our feet by a great actor. So stay tuned there too. But they're definitely established a tumultuous relationship. Right, hard to say. Again, but I will say she does still kind of want to make out with her husband, doesn't she? So things aren't going that bad. The plot thickens, I'll go back to it. Super fun for me, even as an audience member. I have episode 9 on my email, and I haven't read it yet, so I'm dying to find out what comes next. But you will be still interested in how it's going down with Monica and Dominic Pascal. They definitely rub each other the right way. He has a tendency to just pop into the firehouse, cut to 2 or 3 scenes that we've already shot in there. So yeah, she's not a fixture within the other members of the house because I don't even know them that well, right? But yeah, she's fully familiar with her husband and what he does for a living. So they bring her into the firehouse. Smart a couple of times, yeah. Well, there's an earlier scene where he's a little put off, but later on, yeah, I feel like Dominic Pascal. I feel like you see a guy who's in charge at work and maybe not so in charge at home. So does anybody know anyone like that? Wonderful question. I'm learning that about Pascal too. He definitely approached this new job very strictly. You see him come in very demanding. Now, has it really effectively changed the dynamic within the house yet in the episodes we've seen? I can't say so much because I'm, frankly, like Pascal himself, not that familiar with what led up to season 13. He's trying, right? He's trying to run a tight ship, but it's a little hard. The main thing still, and this is looming, especially for people who really like the show, they are married. Severide and Kid. So that's against the rules. Pascal's kind of a rulesy guy. So we don't know how that's going to go yet either. Well, I like that she sticks to, this is Kid, played by Miranda Ray Mayo, who's so wonderful leading this show. She knows how things are supposed to go, at least in the Bowden format. So she's a person who knows how to perform their job super effectively. So why call into question what's already working? I can see that vantage point. And I wouldn't say they really conflict because Pascal, in my mind, he'd expect that. He even pretty much says it in that first episode. I don't expect you to necessarily like the way things are going to go, but that's how they're going to be. So they just are on two different pages to start. By the time we're a half a dozen episodes in, that dynamic's already changing. So that's really fun in series television too, because it doesn't ever stay. It doesn't come to a close. The interpersonal relationships are developing the whole time. So without giving them too much away, I think we kind of meet in the middle with each other in these first episodes. I don't know if that'll grow to an actual conflict or whether they'll wind up being, close colleagues. We don't know, but it's such an interesting dynamic and so powerfully performed by Miranda. But those particular scenes where Mount steps up for Kid to Pascal. Mouch felt like Pascal was missing a couple of notes on her record. So he sees to it that I'm fully brought up to full data. That's what Pascal wants anyway. He says it himself. That, for me, was the first clue that the guy's got, a moral center, but also a heart, right? Because he does his work. He does what he said he was going to do, which was run this fully based on verifiable information. And he steps right up for her as soon as he learns it. He just didn't know. So it's so cool the way those three characters come together in the storyline you mentioned. I really thought that was a real clue into who Pascal actually is. I can't say this. I feel like Pascal was put directly in Herman's path from leftover from season 12 on Bowden's exit, I think. He was kind of being set up, as I understand it, as the heir apparent to that seat behind the chief's desk. Well, sorry. Pascal's here, and I don't feel like he's going anywhere, so the writers are going to have to figure that out, aren't they? I have no idea what they're going to come up with. And right now, Herman is doing the right thing. He's standing by his new chief. So, yeah, it's a dynamic in motion for sure. Fun to see how that develops. Right. Those are things that, especially because this character's new to all of the people, he doesn't know that. So it's not a mutual dynamic. And whatever interplay there is between Novak and Pascal is TBD, folks. Yes, I love the way they established this character, that first episode wading right into, and that's one of the bigger incidents, by their own admission, that Chicago Fire's pulled off, at least in a long time. You gotta realize what resources go into these scenes. Multiple additional departments, safety, fire safety, drivers for the trucks, except obviously Christian Stolte drives a fire truck and puts it on a dime, this guy. It's incredible what they do. The footage within the cab of him driving. That's not just a that's a real thing. So when you watch the show, if you're used to the show, you take that stuff for granted. When you're new to the thing, you can't believe it, how amazingly authentic this is. But so they really put a lot into that first episode to establish this character, but also literally to start off season 13 with a bang. So it was amazing to be in that scene. And yes, I am in several other incidents upcoming, and they're all dangerous. So it's amazing to watch a well-oiled machine and an experienced company put together scenes like this, because they make it look so easy, when I gotta tell you, people, it's not easy. So I'm thrilled to be here, and they're all making Chief Pascal look really good for sure. I played on that score, that's right. Thanks for that recall on that. I played last year on Shooting Stars for Peacock, the LeBron James high school movie. So those are two recent that I've been asked in after I performed on screen. So, golly, that's a really unique combination. Can't imagine there's that many other actors doing that. Oh, but let me tell you this, nobody else knows this. There are 3 cellists in the cast of Chicago Fire season 13. 3 of us. Miranda Ray plays cello. Did anybody know that? She's from Fresno. And Hanako Greensmith. Viola that drives there too, she's an actor that drives a paramedic truck. You try driving it's like driving a public storage. And she plays the cello. So imagine that. I've never been in a cast where anybody plays the cello, and now we got all 3, so we'll have to figure something out. But we'll have to have a Chicago Fire season 13 talent show. Well, there's a lot of people. Daniel Kyrie just came out with Maybe, his single, so check it out on Spotify, and a great video. Jake Lockett plays and sings. Everybody, Jocelyn too, plays the flute. Very talented cast and great actors, authentic in these roles. Back to Chicago Fire, and so cool to welcome me into this close-knit group. Amazed and thrilled to be here.